Hello and welcome to the matchday build-up here on Hibs TV. St Mirren are our opponents this afternoon, the third visitors to Easter Road in just 8 days. Shaun Maloney's side have rested, recovered, and now they're ready to go again this afternoon.
The teams are out on the field here at Easter Road. Hibs in their traditional green and white.
An opportunity for Carden to go and run him.
Beningame for Hearts. Tips the ball into the area. Flag stays down. It's a chance here. Oh, that was a real chance. It's up in the midfield, but it's nicked away from him by Kevin Nisbet. Gets it back from Jake Doyle-Hayes. Nisbet driving goalwards, edge of the area, plays it into the path here of Mueller. Shoots, blocked. Climbs, flagged up again. The ball's in the net, but the flag's up. It won't count. Here for Anderson, he's inside the area, into the byline, whips the ball across. Oh, Rocky got there, but he got there too well. Chance here for Boyce at the edge of the area though. Great work by Dabrowski.
He's a little bit fortunate because if you look to try and push that wide, he pushes it kind of in the middle of the goal.
Well, you don't get that. He plays the ball over. By Fortress. Devlin shoots. Harry Mackay driving forward for Hearts. Into the path of Sims. It's a chance. It's a great block by Kevin Dabrowski. Miller can't get there. In the penalty area. Chance here. Great stop again by Dabrowski. Campbell loses out to Sims. Sims in the box. Shoots. Dabrowski again makes another terrific save. Low down to his right hand side. But again, Kobe Sibbett cut it well though by Mitchell for Hibs. Can he play it forward? It should have been forward. It's in the path of Nisbet. He's inside the area. What can he do? Oh, he dragged the shot. Henderson, good strike. Straight into the midriff for Craig Gordon. Well, one though by Jake Doyle-Hayes. What is Rocky Bushiri doing there? Close the whistle. Yes. Well blocked by the Hibs wall. Adam looks to take his man on. Cochran it is. Adam gets the ball over. It's a decent delivery chance here. It's what a save by Gordon! It's over the crossbar. Just clips it forward. It's a good ball. Henderson sprung the trap. Brazilian Henderson puts the ball into the area. Oh, it's just missed by everyone again. Ben Woodburn challenged by Ryan Portis. Hibs will have the free kick, maybe one last chance. Mate. No, the referee's seen enough. Don Robertson brings the game to an end. It finishes goalless in a pulsating Edinburgh derby. Chances for Hibs right in the death there. However, Kevin Dabrowski was a star man for Hibs as well in blocking out the visitors. Finishes goalless time.
Hello and welcome to the matchday build-up here on Hibs TV as we look ahead to this afternoon's game against Jim Goodwin's St Mirren. We'll of course be hearing from Shaun Maloney, Rocky Bushiri, and we've got a very special guest for you, Hibernian FC legend Pat Stanton. And talking of Hibs legends, I'm delighted to say I'm joined once again by Hibs women captain Joelle Murray. Joelle, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. What an intro, Adam. Thank you very much.
I thought you'd like that one. I thought you did. We'll start with Tuesday night, the Edinburgh derby, a really good performance and something that we can build on to this one.
Certainly, I think the game as a whole was unbelievable. The energy, the intensity on and off the pitch was unmatched, and it was a fantastic occasion, and certainly one that we can hope to build on today.
It was really special, wasn't it? You could see among the fans and the players how they were just bouncing off each other. Shaun Maloney spoke a lot about a connection between the two. It was so evident.
It certainly was. It was so evident, and the fans came in numbers, and they gave their support, and you could see the players get a lift and get kind of energised from that, and they certainly put in a performance to be proud of. The banner pre-match said fight for the badge, and they've certainly done that in abundance.
Absolutely, and that was the fourth clean sheet that we've had under Shaun Maloney, 4 in 7, a really good foundation to build on.
Of course, I always say that results and performances are built on a good, strong defensive foundation, and that's massive. That's a fantastic return. 4-7. We're hoping for 5-8 today, but yeah, a fantastic kind of return for that for those matches.
For me, there were two players that really stood out in that. Obviously, Kevin Dabrowski stole the headlines, picking up the Man of the Match award by the sponsors here and on Sky Sports. But also Ryan Porteous. I think Shaun Maloney said post-match how well he'd done in terms of building out from the back, but being strong defensively as well. Those two were real standouts for us.
I would agree. Shaun spoke highly of both yesterday in his press conference, and I thought Ryan absolutely strolled the game. He thrives on games like that. He thrives in that atmosphere, and that's a sign of a true professional. And we can't overlook his age because he's still young, but he's a very, very mature player, and he led from the back, as did Kevin on Tuesday night.
Absolutely, and the games keep coming thick and fast. Obviously, a quick turnaround from that intense Edinburgh derby into today's game. In terms of the players' rest and recovery, they won't have had much time on the training pitch, will they, over the last kind of 2 weeks?
No, they won't. The games, like you said, have come thick and fast recently. Probably frustrating for Shaun because probably not a lot or as much time on the pitch to work technically and tactically as he'd liked. However, as a player, you'd prefer to play opposed to training, so they'll be thriving on it and looking forward to these games coming.
Absolutely. What do you think Shaun Maloney will have told the players ahead of this one?
It'll be a tough game. We spoke earlier about the run that St Mirren have been on. They're unbeaten at the turn of the year post break, so it will be a tough game. I think looking at their players as individuals and collectively, their midfield, their Conor Ronan and Alan Power in the midfield bring a great balance and combination of technical ability but physical ability. So I think if we can dominate that midfield area, we'll do well today.
Yeah, and one man that will have a big impact this afternoon is centre half Rocky Bushiri. He spoke to Gavin Rittu ahead of this one.
Rocky, it's nearly a month since you joined us here at Hibs. How are you enjoying your time here so far?
I really enjoy it. The lads have been so good, so nice with me. It's really a familiar club, and I really enjoyed my time here.
And obviously getting used to a new city, new teammates, a new manager, what's that been like for you?
But to be honest, didn't take me so long to get used to the system because it's like a system, a possession system. So I think every player like it. I want it like to play possession football instead of running behind the ball, and yeah, I like it. And I mean, with the lads been so good with me, so it was quite easy to understand.
On the field, you've played 4 games, kept 2 clean sheets so far. What have you made of your own performances in a Hibs jersey?
I hope we can achieve more clean sheets, but I think we are on a good way, on something positive. We've shown lots of positive, and the 3 points will come soon. We are working on it, and yeah.
And in terms of playing at Easter Road, what was that experience like for you, and in the Edinburgh derby especially?
Well, really nice. The fans been positive with us. The derby was amazing. The atmosphere was one of the best I've played in front, so it was good.
And what happened to your boot in the second half? I saw you post a photo on your Instagram. You had a big rip in it, and you managed to carry on for the last 20 minutes.
Yes, was in a duel with the striker. He just cut my boot, my sock, and my feet. But that's this league. That was a welcome, I think. But yeah, it's football, part of the game.
And you mentioned before about the league being quite physical and lots of challenges, lots of tackles. Is that something that you're enjoying?
Yeah, I enjoy it. Like we play. Like I mean, that doesn't stop the games all the time. So we play. It's a contact sport, so I'm okay with that.
And in terms of the new manager's style of play, obviously plays out from the back a lot, possession-based football, as you mentioned. Are you enjoying playing out from the back and using your feet?
Yes, of course, everyone. I mean, when you have possession, when you play possession football, you're like more fresh to defend and to give everything. I mean, that's a style like every player wants to play with the ball. And I mean, in this team we have like lots of technical players, so that's a good style for us.
You mentioned lots of technical players. You've had to play with a few different defenders alongside you. Cadden on the right, obviously Lewis Stevenson, Paul McGinn as well, but your relationship with Ryan Porter seems to be blossoming. How are you enjoying playing with him?
No, it was really good. I really enjoy it. I mean, I think we are the same age and like show the same passion, and we are both like really excited when we start the game. So I really enjoyed playing with him, but with everyone else, I mean, we have the same direction. We want to go the same direction. We have the same vision. So he's good. It doesn't matter.
And looking forward to Saturday's game against St Mirren, what do we need to do to make sure we get the 3 points on Saturday?
No, I think we need to continue like that. We come from a clean sheet. I mean, the goals will come. We are working on it, but let's keep it positive. We had clean sheets. We had strong games. The chances are there, so we create them, but the goals will come, I'm sure.
Cheers, Rocky. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Well, Joelle, we heard from Rocky just then. He's really grown a partnership with Ryan Porteous. You can see the energy bouncing off between them.
You certainly can, and I think what's impressed me more is the fact that, unlike the other new signings, he's been thrust straight into the action, Adam, because of suspensions, because of injuries, and you wouldn't think that, because like you said there, he's kind of struck up a fantastic partnership with Ryan, and it looks as if they've played together for seasons.
He's a real asset, isn't he? He's not only a big, strong centre half, but he's so comfortable on the ball.
So comfortable, so assured on the ball, and I think looking at him visually, you'd think predominantly his main attribute is his physicality, which it is, but he can also play. He can play passes forward, he can pick a pass, he can see a pass, and he's a very, very good signing for us.
Yeah, and he's really embraced Scottish football already. He's already got rid of 2 pairs of boots because they've been broken.
Yeah, he's embraced it, certainly. He spoke yesterday in his press conference about the physicality of the game and how much he's thriving on that, and like you said, he's 2 pairs down and he'll be on to his 3rd pair today.
Absolutely. Well, it'll probably be another physical one for him this afternoon. Games against St Mirren have been very close this year. This is our 3rd meeting. Let's have a look at the other 2. Well, Joelle, you could see those highlights there. Both games against St Mirren have been really tight affairs, and in both of them we conceded late equalisers to Joe Shaughnessy.
Yeah, Joe popping up with a late winner in both, I think 87th and 88th minute. Unusual for a centre back, but it just shows their resilience and their the way that they kind of stay focused right up until the final whistle. So we need to be very, very cautious and aware of that today.
Yeah, they've been really good form since the winter break. I think before the winter break they hadn't won in 11 games. They had that rest period, have come back, and they've won three of 4 outings. In their last game they drew with Motherwell.
Yeah, they've been in fantastic form. They've had a bit of transition in the January window there, bringing in players, obviously Gogic, who's unavailable today, Jordan Jones, who has pace in abundance, which we need to be wary of, but they've also lost their talisman in Jamie McGrath, so hopefully we can capitalise on that and as I say, get the 3 points that have eluded us in those previous 2 games.
Yeah, what do you expect to see from Jim Goodwin's side?
I think that perseverance. I think the way St Mirren play is the way that Jim Goodwin played as a professional throughout his career. A strong physical team, but also a technical team, and a team that we need to be really wary of.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have a look at the league table just now. You can see what you mentioned earlier, Joelle, that a win today will move us into 4th. Obviously Motherwell play tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. I think that's important. The 3 points today very much important, because it will leapfrog, allow us to leapfrog Motherwell with them playing tomorrow. So 3 points and a fantastic performance today is extremely important.
Yeah, and the table's so tight. There's just 7 points obviously between us in 5th and St Mirren in 9th.
Yeah, and I think that just shows the competitive nature of the league. Every team is capable of beating each other, and as a whole, as a neutral, that's what you're wanting. But as a Hibs fan, you want to be beating everyone in and around about you, and especially below you.
Absolutely, and here obviously we need to get kind of that first league win of 2022.
We certainly do. I think every club are looking to create kind of a fortress environment and nature, and certainly we want to do that here at Easter Road. It is a hard place to come as an opposing kind of player and club, and we want to create that fortress and that ability to kind of go out and take the 3 points every time we take the pitch here. Yeah,
and just finally on this, obviously last Saturday we were talking about the blustery conditions. Seem even worse today.
Yeah, I mean, the weather hasn't been kind of late, to be honest, and again, that'll be the same for both teams today, Adam, so we do need to take that into consideration. The pitch will be quite heavy with the amount of rainfall, and obviously you've got the wind to take into consideration as well, but again, that'll be the same for both teams. We just need to kind of adapt to that and play the way we can.
Absolutely, something we should be used to over the last few games. We're just going to go into a quick break now, but stay with us because we'll be joined by Hibernian FC legend Pat Stanton.
Terry Healy Heating is Scotland's premier new boiler and central heating company. Your first call for new gas boiler installations, central heating repair and maintenance services. Interest-free credit available and low monthly payment plans. Get it right first time, every time. With Scotland's premier new boiler and central heating company. See terryhealyheating.com, an Edinburgh trusted trader and gas safe registered.
Terry Healy Group.
Get your hands on this limited time offer with Carabao, the great tasting low-calorie energy drink.
Millions use NordVPN to help protect themselves from cybercrime. People working from any place with internet access. Heroes on a mission. Travelers using unsecured public Wi-Fi. The ones who have an app for everything. Get exclusive discount with a code. NordVPN, proud sponsor of Hibernian FC.
on, Leslie.
Yes, thank you.
Subway for you.
Oh, excuse me. Leslie, I just want to say you are bringing it. She's bringing it.
What am I bringing?
Just 2 screens here at the same time, Leslie. How'd you process this information? Is it one eyeball for this screen and one eyeball for that screen?
No, I just go from one to the other.
One to the... Leslie, that is incredible. Enjoy your meatball marinara, Leslie. She's bringing it.
Thank you.
Do either of you know Leslie? She's gonna be running this place one day.
You can see all the pictures around us. You on any of them behind us?
Yeah, I think so. I think probably just that one up there. I think.
Captain?
Captain at the end of the under-14 season. So I've got a selection of trophies there. I think it actually says 32 goals next to my name as well. So I don't know if I've scored 32 goals since I left, to be honest, and all the years combined. So back in the days I was probably a lot more attack-minded than what I am now, but just a really enjoyable time. Absolutely loved playing for Hutchie, and anytime Tam, who's the club leader here, anytime he asks me to come along and for functions and things like that, then I'm first here, because obviously I know what Hutchie done for me as a young player.
Hello and welcome back to the matchday build-up here at Easter Road. I hope you enjoyed the fantastic day that I had there with Paul Hanlon as he took us back through his roots in Edinburgh. It was certainly fantastic to be a part of, and I'm sure it's something that you'll all enjoy viewing. You can watch that on our YouTube channel. Now I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by Hibernian legend Pat Stanton. Pat, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Excellent. I wanted to bring you on this show because Shaun Maloney over the last couple of weeks has been telling everyone about bringing former players back, bringing you back amongst the first team squad. How has that been from your perspective?
Oh, it's great to be asked to be involved, because being a Hibs supporter, you just anything that you can do to help the club, you do. And to be asked back here, it's great. But I think for maybe a spell there was, going back a few years, there was a period of time when ex-players were there, they were here, but people weren't really, I would say, encouraged to come, And when they finish up playing with you, it's not bad that the club remember them and bring them along, and you get the fans who remember them playing, and it's good for the club. I think it's healthy for the club.
Yeah, and obviously amongst the training ground and the players, I saw Kevin Dabrowski having a long chat with yourself, Mickey Ware, some other former players at HTC this week. It's really good that they kind of pick your brains and your experience.
That's right. They ask you, because we all make mistakes, and if you see the player making a mistake, or maybe his attitude could be a wee bit better, or just application. It's not a bad thing for somebody to do that, and you're not doing it for your benefit, you're doing it for the benefit of the player. Because I can remember when I first started here, people giving me pieces of advice, and there's lots of players who would like to help you, but they've not got that ability to pass on their skill or what they've done over the years, and there are other players who are. And I was lucky enough to play here with people like John Fraser, Eric Stevenson, John McNamee, who would take you aside during the course of a game and tell you then, as you were just about to make that mistake, and you picked up quickly. And there was other, like I said, the other ones who would love to have helped you, but they didn't have that ability, you know. And you listen to these people, and it's even when they tell you something, it's only when you're on the park. That's what he was speaking about, you know, and you pick it up quick. And as you get older, you do the same thing with the young players coming through. But it's when you think that nobody can tell you what to do, that's a big mistake, that.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell us how this has all come about then, your relationship with Shaun Maloney, being in amongst the training ground and the dressing room on match days.
Well, we'll just asked along, you know, and you know, it's great speaking to him, you know, full of enthusiasm, and not only that, when you're talking to people, you can't, when you've got a team in front of you, you can't say the same thing to everybody. You know, you can't have this is how it is. There's individuals sitting there, and certain players need to be told that they're good players, and there's other players you've got to just calm them down a wee bit, and that's just that's man management. You know, you can't just give a statement out and everybody's going to adhere to that. Just picking out, he could do a wee G up, or he could do a rest, and it's just having that ability. And I think the manager's quite good at that.
Yeah. How do you think things have evolved under Shaun Maloney?
Well, it's not been a long period of time, but there's the players seem keen enough, you know, and I don't think he talks down to the players. I think he just talks to them, and that's a big help as well, you know. But as a player, you know, just playing under managers, you know, it doesn't take the players long to get the strength of the manager, you know. I'm pretty, the way the things are going, and you talk to players without asking them to say anything. The players, they'll say a wee thing here and there, and you just take it on board and say, yeah, he's going the right way about it.
Yeah, and the style of football's changed as well, obviously more possession based, trying to attack more and put our style on the opposition. That's right, you know. And the Hibs support come down here, and they come down here to get behind the club, you know. I think, you know, looking back at the Hibs over the years, you know, when you look at some of the great players that played here, you know, Gordon Smith and Riley and all these people, you know, I think Hibs are the last of the romantics. You know, they go out and they play, they try to beat you, and a lot of the Hibs supporters, they're hard-nosed as anybody, and we all like to win, but there's certain ways you can win, and you take the fans with you. But if they come along to watch you just grinding out results, they enjoy it, but not to the same extent that they go along to see some great players, because people work all week and they come along to Easter Road, not just Easter Road, Tynecastle, Celtic Park, wherever, and for an hour and a half they go back to their childhood watching all these great players. And it really is. It's at the end of the day, the most important people at the club, apart from the obvious ones, is the fans. You know, without the fans, and the fans are no silly. You know, they'll make their mind up. You know, because I can remember my very first day here as a professional player, and talking to it was old Jimmy McCall, the old trainer, and not far from where you and I are standing at the moment. Jimmy said to me, "Can I give you a wee piece of advice?" And he pointed to a certain section of the stand, and he said to me, "See that, if that section of the stand don't take to you," he says, "you find another club." And he was right. You know, these people are real diehards, give you a chance, you know, but they'll only sit and watch you for so long. And even, like, say, you get players on the park and you feel they could work harder. Imagine having to tell a professional player to run about, be a nuisance. If you're not playing well, be a nuisance, but just show enthusiasm. And people will let you away with a wee bit, you know, not for long, right enough, but that's what always amazes me. You know, people having to shout to a player, you know, run, chase, show enthusiasm, try and get the ball back. You watch Messi, people like that, away at the very top of their game. When they lose the ball, they chase back. And I go to some games and we lose the ball, and some people won't bother chasing back, and that's annoying. That. Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think of ahead of today's game? Just finally,
this will be. You've got to treat everybody with respect. You know, and when the whistle goes, that's when you start. Too often you see teams playing, the referee blows the whistle to start the game, and I'll start playing at 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the game. You start right at the start, and you treat the opposition with respect, and that's the way, and the rest follows. But if you start the wrong way, it's hard to shake out it. You know your attitude's wrong, and it's sure it's doing it. You know, just go out there, apply yourself, treat the opposition with respect. You'll not win all the games, but you'll win more than you lose.
Absolutely. Well, we've been on the front foot here at Easter Road in the opening stages of our last 2 games. Well, let's hear from manager Shaun Maloney now, as I spoke to him ahead of this one. Shaun, we'll start with the squad. How's everyone looking so far?
Everyone's looking okay. I think there's a couple of doubts. Paul Hanlon's still a little bit game to game. We'll give him to the last moment. Paul McGinn's similar. Joe Newell's similar, but I think Josh Doig should be fine. Matt Mason will be fine. Yeah, and that's where we're at. I think Cal McGuinness is a little bit of a longer term. Another 4 to 6 weeks, unfortunately, just with a contact injury in a practice game, which is really bad luck for him. But and then we're still waiting on Harry Clark. That'll be a bit of time, but we look forward to the day when Harry's available.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with that in mind, then you've got big decisions to make all over the pitch, but especially who starts in goal.
Yeah. I think with Kevin's performance, I think it gives me a decision, and I'll let the team know that. I always do it the day of the game. But Kevin can be really proud of the way he performed. He's waited a long time. Matt's been very good for me for a large part of while I've been here. So it's no, definitely a decision, but I'll let the team know that tomorrow.
Yeah, and whilst we're speaking about the goalkeepers, just a word on our new head of goalkeeping, John Bush. What does he add to the coaching team?
Energy. Very, very passionate about goalkeeping. He had a tremendous career in the MLS, and he was desperate to come here. I think when I got the job, John was immediately one in the long term that I thought would be brilliant for the club, and he was desperate to get here. So after a few weeks, we managed to. I think I want to thank Craig, obviously, for the work he did with me. But once that situation was resolved, then super happy to get John over. He brings a lot of energy.
Yeah, and the goalkeepers and the whole team really have kept 4 clean sheets in 7 games whilst you've been here, and that's not having a settled back 3 or back 5. I don't think you've named the same kind of back 5 since you've been in charge.
No, it's been there's been a lot of injuries, a lot of changes, suspensions as well. Look, what we're asking them to do defensively, they're taking on board, and to have 4 clean sheets is big. I think it's a real foundation of where we want to get to. So credit has to go the back 5. But I will also say moving up the pitch, the midfielders, particularly Joe and Jake the other night, showed an aggression and a real desire to defend. That when our forward players do that as well, it makes a huge difference. And Kevin, Christian and Chris Mueller, it's been different players, even with Dre, other number 10s like you. And whenever we defend that well from the front, it actually makes it a lot easier for us to defend as a team. So no credit to the team for those 4 clean sheets. But we have to bring that energy, desire, fight again on Saturday. We have to.
Yeah, you mentioned the word fight just then. That was really evident against Hearts. I think post-match you said it was something new that you'd kind of seen from your team in terms of the fight and the intensity that they put across. How much did you just enjoy that?
Yeah, I love it. Look, I think when I came to the club, I think a lot was made obviously on a certain way that I think is the best way to win, which I know we're going to get to. I want to be super attacking, but I think in any game, in any sport, but particularly the tradition of this club, and I've mentioned a lot of the connection with the fans, and I think when the players show that level of fight, that spirit, that desire not to get beat in every tackle and in every duel, then I think what you saw with the support and the players was something very, very special. And the players fought for teammates, they fought for the fans for sure, and I think they showed a fight for the staff as well. So they have to bring that every game, and I'm sure the fans will be very supportive when we do.
Yeah, the connection between everyone, the players, the staff, and the supporters on Wednesday or Tuesday evening was something that was really special. Obviously, that is a derby, but to be fair, if we could get it for this weekend, it would really help kick your team on.
Yeah, I understand the sort of size of the derby, the history of what that means for the people that have supported this club for a long, long time. But in terms of the team, no matter who turns up, at our games, our home games, we have to be prepared to give that level of sort of desire, that level of fight. So no matter what the attendance, whether it's a full house against Hearts, whether it's less than that against Cove, or any game, we have to give that for whoever turns up, because look, they turn up for these games. The fans are going to be here for the next 10, 20, 30 years. So I think if we do, then whatever the result, because definitely, look, we want to win as many as we can. There might be less positive games, but if the team give the level of fight and desire that they did on Tuesday, then the fans will, I would imagine, always clap them off.
Yeah, absolutely. And the table's really close at the minute. St Mirren have been in good form since the winter break. What do you expect from them?
Look, every game just feels so big at the moment. I think because the game being the league, so tight. Every win is vital, and this is a sort of second opportunity. I know Motherwell play the day after. This is a second opportunity that we have to move into fourth. And look, I can't be too outcome focused. I know I want to win the game, but I think as long as my team give a performance that we had on Tuesday, then I think that's all I can ask for at the moment. It's a huge game for us, and we have to bring what we brought on Tuesday, and then the result, I think, will take care of itself.
Yeah, good luck tomorrow, and thank you for speaking.
No bother, thanks very much. Cheers.
Well, Joelle, we heard from Shaun just there. He's firstly got a big decision to make, hasn't he? We spoke about Kevin Dabrowski earlier on in this show. Matt Macey is also fit now. Who does he play in goal?
It's a tough one, because I think Matt's been doing well prior to kind of his injury there, but for me, as a player, you wait for those opportunities. Kevin's waited probably longer than most, and he's taken it very well. So for me, I would have to go with Kevin, because what message does that then maybe say to other players who wait for those types of opportunities? But for me, I would go for Kevin, but I can appreciate it's a hard one for Shaun, because both keepers are very, very good keepers. So it'll be interesting to see who he opts for.
Absolutely, there's decisions to make all over the pitch. Paul Hanlon obviously has missed the last few games. Paul McGinn too. Josh Doig came off injured. Joe Newell came off injured too. Obviously Carl McGuinness is unavailable, and Harry Clark too. But we've got quite a big squad. We do. We've got strength and depth in numbers across all positions. But yeah, it just seems like every game we're losing one or two players through injuries at the moment, which is quite unfortunate. But we do have players in abundance to come on, and it's like for like. We've obviously got Sylvester Jasper looking and hoping to get minutes on the pitch. Dimitri Mitchell, who of course came on Tuesday evening. So we've got a big squad, and a squad with lots of quality. So whoever takes to the pitch today will I'm sure, no doubt, put in the performance that we all hope and expect for. Yeah, and it could be exciting for Hibs fans to see Sylvester Jasper, Elias Melkerson, who Shaun Maloney said would be in the squad today for the first time. Yeah, I'm excited. So I can imagine every other Hibs fan will be excited to see them. They've come with high hopes and big prospects, and both players will just be looking to get those first minutes and that step on the pitch, and certainly, hopefully, then grow in confidence and stature. Absolutely. What do you think Shaun Maloney's side has to do today then to get the 3 points? I think just play their way of football, the style that Shaun has brought to the club and implemented. You can see it now kind of bearing its fruits. That progressive possession-based style, it's working in my opinion. Make those final entries into the final third and execute them, getting goals hopefully today. But yeah, I think the 3 points, however we get them, will be important today. Excellent. Well, Joelle, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll wrap it up just there. Of course, you can watch the game on Hibs TV in the company of Dave Armstrong and Tam McManus. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.